Hello everyone, how are we doing? It appears my camera is having a moment. There we go, hello, I am here. How are we doing? Hope we're doing well. JW, welcome to the stream, buddy. I hope you are doing splendid today. Yes, almost a full lobby in then so far. Not really much to talk about, but apart from that, how is everyone doing? Is everyone excited for the race in the chat? Hopefully everyone is. Yeah, how are we all doing? I hope everyone is doing well. We're just getting everything sorted here. I'm a little bit light being live, as I say myself. So that's why everything was a little bit slow today. So we move on, we move on. But yeah. Once again, JW, welcome to the chat, buddy. I hope you're doing well today. So there you go. Everyone excited for the USA GP today? I know I am. I remember last week we had the first race of the season, which was obviously round one Brazil. And I tell you what, that one was absolutely a thrill of a battle to watch. If you haven't watched it already, I'd really recommend heading over to the YouTube channel of WOR and typing in, it was WOR F1 PC Tier 7, Season 14, Round 1 Brazil. And I tell you, it was an awesome and really good race. We've got JW saying, yeah, all right, thanks. Been ill recently, so yeah, maybe not a full pace tonight. Oh, yikes, JW. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully you can recover and do well in the race today. Prayers go out to you. Hope you get better soon, but I bet your pace will be absolutely phenomenal and amazing today. Anyways, what we'll do now, chat, is we're going to go and have a look at the good old calendar. Yes, we do love the calendar here at WOR. So, as you know, round one, which was Brazil, like I said, that was an absolutely awesome and a thriller of a race to absolutely watch and just enjoy, Just like, what was really cool about it is you had, like, quite a decent close qualifying for some drivers. I'd say that. And then we had a really, like, interesting race as well. Like, I believe it was the final lap on the race, and we had, like, what? Both Alpines fighting a Aston Martin, I believe it was. I can't remember what car it was, but I believe it was an Aston Martin. And two Alpines also fighting as well, teammate versus teammate. And one of them was on the soft tyres and managed to make it through his teammate, the second Alpine, and then managing to get past the Aston Martin, I believe it was, before the start and finish straight. So it was literally side by side, and it was absolutely crazy. So yeah, that was really cool, to be honest. Quite exciting to witness some awesome battles in Brazil. But as we head over to the USA, known as the Circuit of the Americas, another very interesting battle today. Probably going to be in the S section, the center S's, I would say they are, because if you didn't know, that's quite a really windy bit of track, and you come to those S section of the track when you are going down to turn 1 onto the approach of turn 2, and that's when you have to really focus, because drivers there, high standards, everything else as well. Just the control of the car is really needed. So yeah, we're now loading into the lobby, so it won't be long now. So as we're waiting to load in, what I did realize is the sprint race. We've got the first sprint race of the season for WOR Season 14 on the way shortly, and it'll be in Baku, which is known as Japan. I believe it's how you say it. That'll be on January 30th till February 3rd, with other streams going on as well. But I'll tell you what as well. Baku, you need like a lot of especially you need a decent amount of straight line speed. Of course, there's a massive back straight on the start and finish line, and that's one DRS zone. And then your second DRS zone is probably down into turn 2, I believe. When you exit turn 2, there's a massive, like, no, I wouldn't say massive, just like a little bit of piece of road there, which you will use to get another DRS. And then, yeah, to end off, like I said, you got the massive back straight of you know, the straight line speed is needed. So yeah, let's see how it goes here today at the USA with the S section of the track, and then one massive DRS straight on the back straight, and then you got another one on the back straight of the start and finish. So yeah, today's race is going to be absolutely awesome to watch as we're now getting into the lobby very, very slowly. Here we go then. Into the lobby we go as we wait for the game to say hello, wakey wakey, you know. There we go. Yeah, so we're up and waiting now as some drivers are in the pit lane. I'm just going to quickly grab that and then get off that screen. So yeah, there we go. We've got, what, 17 minutes of qualifying now, so we're going to see what drivers are going to exit the pit lane and see for this race today. But what we are going to do is we are going to put the tyres on, because everyone wants to see the tyres, and the telemetry as well, and the lap data, and the little mini-map as well. Most drivers like to see that, because they want to see if they're improving or not improving. As we have our first user, you could say, out on the track, it's going to be the Aston Martin driver of AD Gamer. So he's looking very fine in the mighty solid green colour of the Aston Martin there, followed by his teammate behind as well of I don't know how to say that name, so I'm going to go and pronounce it as OM. So he's currently out on the track as well on a set of soft tyres, so not many people optimal for the medium tyres yet, which is quite interesting, because obviously, if you didn't know, the USA is known for very, very, very high tyre wear. So we're going to see what goes on here. As we look elsewhere, there's a few more drivers out in the pits. We've got one user that has invalidated, and that's the driver of AD Gamer, but that's not a biggie for him because it's just his outlap, so he's going to be fine. But this is the first time I am seeing the track really, really busy. So many drivers on an outlap wanting to get these laps done early. Is that just because the track wants to be busy, or is there potential for some rain on the way? We're going to see what happens, and hopefully be in for, or be tuned in for a very exciting qualifying as we see the Red Bull driver, Delonzo, I think that's how you say the name, on the first back straight of where DRS will be wide open. But as he's making his way around the final few corners and everyone else making some time and just chilling and getting ready for a lap, we're going to ride on board with OM right now. So obviously the DRS is going to be wide open onto the approach down to turn 2 now, vibing in sector 1 then. So turn 2. That's looking really good there, you know. Not bad indeed from the Aston Martin driver. Down to turn 2 now. Yeah, looking like he's got a decent amount of confidence, I must say. So not too bad indeed. We're going to get rid of the tyre thing because I don't think that's needed, as he does invalidate. So that's quite unfortunate for him. So he's going a little bit too wide in the S section where it can throw drivers off a little bit. So then we ride back on board with his teammate, AD Gamer now, gone quickest in Sector 1. So he must have done a very good Centre S's. So yeah, that can be a quite difficult part of the track. We're going to ride back on board with him in a minute though, as we're going to ride on board with the Red Bull Dio now, and we'll show you what I mean. So ride on board with him now, the Centre S's. Yeah, not looking too bad there. Not bad at all. But that's what I mean. It can really throw you off guard as he goes fastest in Sector 2. So the Red Bull finding a little bit more pace than the Aston Martin driver now of AD Gamer, which, yeah, not looking too bad. So now he's in the tricky part of Sector 3 now, like in territory of turns 16, 17 and 18, but managing to keep the car under control with no major issues right there, as he's about to approach the start and finish line now. DRS is going to be wide open as he crosses the line. It's going to be a lap time of a 1:35.8, so that's not bad from the Aston Martin driver there. As Moggy in the Mercedes goes fastest with a 1:35.1. As we've got an Alfa Romeo coming up to the line, it's going. Oh no, never mind. It was on an outlap. We're going to go on board with the Red Bull driver of Delonzo now, up to the line. It's going to be a 1:34.5. Very good for the Red Bull driver right there. His teammate, however, is going to be up to the line of Dio, and it's a 1:34.5 as well. So pretty close with fine margins. Only 40 thousandths off. So not bad. Not bad indeed. Obviously the first two Red Bulls dipping into the 134 so far, as some drivers crossing the line, like Trust, who went across the line, did a 136.2. Ket across the line a 136.4. But the McLaren of Pap, I want to say, he crosses the line to do a 136.1. Surprisingly, both Red Bulls have been split up by the Ferrari here of well, how do I say that? IAV. He crosses the line to do a 134.5. But what's really surprised me here is that MUL has crossed the line to do a 133.9. So he's going to be the first driver in the 133s. So that's very good from him there. As a few more people are going to be starting their laps or crossing the line, we're going to go on board as there's a spin from HD Storm there. Not what you want to be doing if you're on a lap. We've got Crankshaft starting an out lap here in the USA. We're going to run on board of him. Down into turn 1 then. Going a little bit wide and missing the apex just a little bit. But you don't hit that apex too much, because if you hit it too much, then you're just going to be losing a little bit too much time, because you map the curb, which sets your car off a little bit centre. But in the S section now, going a little bit too wide, and also hitting that second apex, but missing the hitting the third apex and missing a little bit of the second apex, which is not ideal. But he does go fastest in sector 1, however, so that's not bad from him there, as HD Storm is back to the pit lane, so he might need to go again. And Luca is in the garage. Russ is on an outlap. Everyone else, though, on outlaps now. But like I said, we're going to go back on board with Crankshaft then. On the first back straight then, where DRS is... Well, the second back straight where DRS is wide open. Down into turns 12 now. Onto the approach of 14 and 13 as he does spin. So that's quite unfortunate for him right there. I will say that was a very nice 360 that Crankshaft just did for us right there. So yeah, Crankshaft, if you're watching or listening, or someone can let him know, that was an awesome 360. So GG's to that. Anyways then, the Mercedes of Rusty is on an outlap, so we're not going to be expecting anything from him at this moment of time, as there is a McLaren on a outlap. No, he's on an outlap actually, and he's up quite a bit so far in the first sector, so that's quite good to see from the McLaren driver there of JJR. So down into turn 11 now, exiting turn 11 in sector 2, where the DRS will be wide open shortly here. And it is, as you can see right there, his rear wing wide open. Giving him more of a straight line speed, you could say. So that's why DRS was invented. It's to make the cars go a little bit quicker in a straight line. And yeah. It was fine in TT. My setup's wrong. I don't know why though. That's a bit odd. It could be maybe check your tyre temps. Tyre temps can play a big play, because I know in TT tyre temps can well, tyre temps don't really matter. So check your tyre temps. That could be why. Anyways, then the McLaren in sector 3 now. In turn 18, giving the car under control. 19 now. Also, he's just passed the DRS detection zone 2 now. So when he gets to the left here now, you have the DRS wide open. And then he's up to the line. It's going to be a 135.8. It puts him ahead of his teammate. And that puts him P8. So not a bad lap from the McLaren driver right there. Anyways, then the Aston Martin of AD Gamer has invalidated. But he is on an outlap, as just seen an Aston Martin has gone quicker. And it's OML doing a 135. Almost on the dot. So not bad from him. He's almost in the 134s. So, yeah, that's pretty much it so far. Well, for now, as JJR did spin, so I don't think he was on a lap, as he's already done a lap. I don't know what he was really doing, but I believe he was on a in-lap, so that's not major for him there. He's not going to lose any time, as he's already done his lap. As we have Ketz up to the line, he's going to be starting his lap here in the USA, so I'll have a quick scroll through to see if anyone is going to be starting any laps here, like if they're not doing an outlap, but it seems all drivers are doing an outlap, as Bart has invalidated. And let me tell you something about Bart, if you weren't tuned in for round 1 of Brazil. He unfortunately did retire in Brazil, as he had a bit of troubles on lap 1 in Brazil. And basically, there was a few contact of cars, and he just got sent to the wall. And he kind of had to DNF because he lost his left front tyre, which is not ideal. But let's hope that today he gets a better result here in the USA. I would like to see him provisionally up in like P5 or maybe the podiums, as he does deserve it, you know, because he did miss out on an exciting race. He doesn't validate, so that's quite unfortunate from the Haas driver there. Looking elsewhere on the grid though, Luca on an outlap. HD Storm, I'm going to ride on board of him because he was having such a good racing result, and I believe he had a few moments, so that was not ideal for him. But he's on the approach of Sector 3 now. Now we're running away from turn 12 onto the approach of turn 13 and 14. Not going purple though, but that's not a problem as it's just his first lap. And we have 7 minutes of qualifying to go. So if he wants to get a lap here in the USA, he's got to do it quickly. So far, he seems to be under control, and there's no major issues going on. So we'll see how he does it. And the Mercedes gets out the way there, which is absolutely awesome to see. Obviously, no one getting in the way here because, you know, they don't want to trouble their lap times or get any penalties here. But there's no excuses for missing drivers, as HD Storm crossed the line to do a 1:36.8. Luca crossing the line to do a 1:33.5. Or was that not Luca? 1:33.5. So I think he did a 1:33.5, but he didn't validate. So unfortunately, that lap time is not going to count for the driver of Luca. As Jay crosses the line to do a 1:51, almost on the dot, but that's not ideal for the AlphaTauri driver there. So he's going to go again, or I think he's going again, and we'll see how he gets on. Bart, however, on an in lap it seems, but I believe Trust is in the pits as he was quite a bit down in his time, so that's not ideal for the Haas driver there, as Kit has invalidated in the Williams, so there's not going to be much of an improvement from him, as the driver of HD Storm seems to be pushing. So that's quite interesting strategy from him there. The Ferrari is going to cross the line. Is it for an outlap? No, it isn't. It's for a provisional pole of a 1:33.8. So that's really good from the Ferrari driver there. Going much quicker, which is ideal. So that is not bad. That's a really good lap from IAV there. Anyways then, not the Mercedes. AC in the pits right now, but that might be him leaving the pit lane. I don't really know. I believe it is. The driver of Bart now has invalidated, so if he didn't catch it, he did invalidate in I want to say in sector 2, but I think it was sector 1. So unfortunately for him, he's going to be back in the pit lane. Jay's up to line. Looks like a very decent lap time. It is, you know. And it's a 1:34.7. So that's really good from the AlphaTauri driver there. Most drivers now in the 1:34s. More of them getting in and getting closer. But the drivers we want to watch out for is obviously Luca, MUL, and IAV, as they're all in the 1:33s. So might have an exciting battle for P1 with 4 minutes and 39 seconds of quality to go. Had to be very precise because I like being quite precise. So yeah, there you have it. Anyways then, Mercedes and Moggy and Chris is going to be on an outlap here in the USA. We have a hot lap we could run on board with of OML then. Down into turn 11 now. DRS is going to be wide open in sector 2. When you see that wing open, that means the DRS is wide open, which means the drivers can go a little bit faster with some more kph or miles per hour, as it's optional to use whatever you would like and prefer in the game. In turn 12 now, leaving turn 12 to 13, 14 now. He's up at his time, so he's in the 1:34s currently, but doesn't seem to be in the 1:33s. I want to say he might be if he nails this sector 3, but I don't think it's going to be enough for the Aston Martin driver, as he's slowly up to the line. We're going to ride on board of him So you can see how difficult it is for these drivers to take so much speed on the exit and then get a little bit more speed here. But you can lose the car here if you take too much curb, and it just spins you out, which is quite annoying. Anyways, up to the line. It's a 1:34.2. So he's not far out for the 1:33 zone. But I just put a P4, so that's a very good lap from the Aston Martin there. Anyways then, we have a few more drivers up to the line, I think we do. Yes, we do. JJR then, having a horrible first lap, so he's going to go again, see if he can improve. Moggy is going to be starting, I thought he was going to be starting lap, and he does improve. So I'm quite confused that was an out lap, or that's just the game being the game. But I believe this is his actual lap now, so hopefully he does well, and hopefully we can see where he will go. 2 minutes and 40 seconds now. This is when the drivers want to be exiting the pit lane shortly, so they can get one more lap in. I don't know if he isn't. He's on an out lap, it seems, or he's had a moment somewhere. Out lap for Ket as well. Bart is in the pits. That's quite interesting from the Haas driver there. I thought he would go out, but he might be a little bit too late to exit the pit lane, but hopefully not, because it would be quite nice to see him out in quali and hopefully a decent position. But we've got Crankshaft then looking for a very good lap time, it seems, up to the line. It's going to be a 1:34.9, and that squeezes him up to P11s. That's not bad from the Alpine driver there. Anyways then, having a look elsewhere on the track, I believe it was Moggy. He was on a lap here in the USA. Currently down in Sector 3. Most drivers will find this quite tricky, as where Moggy's just left and ran away from that corner as he loses the back end a little, as he just saw there. I remember I was watching the Tier 1 stream yesterday, and especially I was watching Jake Benham's stream as well. He lost the car almost in that double right-hander in turn 17-18 where the Ferrari driver of IAV as well. And that was an amazing save, but it's just if you take too much curb and too much straight line speed if you have it on your setup, then you're going to be going bye-bye. So yeah. Anyways then, Moggy crossed the line to do a 1:33.9, so that's currently P3 for, or P4 sorry, or 1:34.2 sorry, for Moggy. Get myself a little bit confused now. That puts him up to P4. Not bad from him. So that's probably his final lap done of the session, as we have quite a hefty, big gap, or not big gap, but quite a lot of cars bound together. As this Red Bull is going, and the Williams is going to go for it. He's going to go for the move in quali. Quite interesting. So this could really trouble the Red Bull's lap here, as the Williams of Ket, I believe it is going to get in the way here. And that's front wing damage for the Red Bull. So drama already happening, not in the race, but with 13 seconds of quali to go. And there's already drama. And that was bound to Ket's overtaking the Red Bull when he should have just stayed behind. And the Red Bull just getting compromised, and that was him out. That's him done for quali, which I believe that puts him... What, he's got wing damage, or was it him? Is this one, sorry. Dio, currently P6, he's probably going to be down the order just a tad. But anyways then, back on board with Ket then. He's going to be, I believe, the first driver to cross the line. Will he improve? We'll see. So yeah, we'll just ride on board and see what happens. He's in Sector 2 right now. DRS wide open. But it's going to close up, you know, in turn 12, where he's going to run away down to turns 13 and 14 now. Now in Sector 3, where the tricky section of the track is now. So we'll see how he does, as IAV, which is quite surprising, does improve his time by quite a bit, and does a 1:33.6. So that is very mighty from the Ferrari driver there. As Ket is going to be slowly and surely up to the line. What kind of time is this going to be, and where's it going to put him? Probably a 1:35.8, and it puts him P13. Astras is up to the line. It's a small improvement. It's a 1:35.8, so that puts him P15. Invalidation from the McLaren. We've got the Red Bull up to the line, which was 1:33.9. AlphaTauri of J, not going to improve, he's invalidated somewhere. Right on board with Bart, who does go P10, so that's a good qualifying session for the Haas there, 1:34.5. As the second Red Bull's just going to be in the pits, as there's not much he can do with that wing damage. JJR up to the line, what's it going to be for him? Not going to improve, so he's going to stay P15 for now. Aston Martin of AD Gamer. I think he's already done a lap, but we'll see what happens here. I think he's on. Yeah, I think he's done a lap, so he's not really going to improve. So we did, you know, it's a 1:35, almost on the dot. So that's not bad from the Aston Martin right there. As is HG Storm on a lap? No, he's not. He's had a moment somewhere, so he's back in the pits. So that is your grid lineup for today's exciting race ahead of us in the USA. Now, is there going to be rain? What's everyone's guesses? Will there be rain? Will there not be rain? Do let me know if you have any guesses or possibilities it might be. As it was heavy rain on the Tier 1 stream yesterday for WOR, so that was quite interesting. For quali, that was especially. But do let me know as well. Do you have any predictions for the good old race today? Anyone got any predictions? If so, feel free to let me know, because I'd love to hear them. Love to hear them. So yeah, not a bad qualifying from all the drivers there. Looking really, really decent there. But I can't believe it. Drama, not in the race, but just in qualifying in general. That's really weird to see drama in qualifying. So yeah, that is really, really interesting. Anyways then, that is your grid lineup for the race, as I just said a couple of seconds ago. So, P1 down to P19, I believe, or P20, shall I say. No times for Flux or AC, so that's quite interesting. They might be going for a last to first challenge. But there you have it. IAV, who I didn't expect to be on pole. I thought it was going to be Rusty in the Mercedes on pole, but clearly the Ferrari having more pace. But yeah, that's not bad. Also, I'm impressed with Bart, you know. Had a horrible, like, first race of round 1 of Brazil, out in lap 1. Really, really unfortunate for him. But as this all gets set up, we're going to move to this wonderful, lovely screen where you see my wonderful face. How are we doing? Hello. Big fans to all of you watching. And thank you very much for showing all the support. As we just sit tight and we wait for the drivers to get ready and stuff like that. But yeah, that was a really, really good qualifying. Yeah, not bad. So, on my screen right now, it is looking a little bit cloudy, you could say. So, we're going to see what happens here. Could there be rain on the way, or could it just be the clouds blocking the sun out? So, the track temps could go a little bit low on the track. So, maybe tyre temps could come into play here. You never know. But with 10 seconds until we start the race here in the USA today, we're going to move on over to the good gameplay screen. So here we go then. And I don't believe there's any formation lap, so we're going to get right into it. Hopefully a decent camera angle today for the race. It would be nice to see that, you know. So here we go then. It's 1 light, it's 2 lights, it's 3 lights, it's 4 lights, it's 5 lights. It's lights out, and away we go for the USA, known as the Circuit of Americas. And it's a very even start for the first 2 front rowers right now. But Mercedes of Rusty getting an excellent start. That's him up into P1. The Ferrari of IAV, and both Ferraris taking each other out. So I have never seen that before in league racing, but that is really, really interesting. Anyways then, a few changes happening left, right and centre. The Haas looks to be a little bit off of Bart there, but there's front wing damage as well. So it's like, it's crazy start to this race. And we're under a virtual safety car, I've just realised. So that race start was absolutely insane. But whilst we wait for it to come in, we're going to turn this on. And this is your most position gains. It's going out to Flux right now. Currently up 8 positions, which isn't bad from him there. The driver of IAV WAV is down 16 places, and Luca's down 14. Both Ferrari drivers, sorry, taking each other out in lap 1 as the VSC has gone. So under racing speed once again. Back up to P1, however, and the gap is starting to wiggle out. So not much going on apart from little gaps starting to form. There is an AlphaTauri though, a J, all over the back almost on Moggy right now. So could he be looking for a move? Potentially down in turn 18. He is close, but is he close enough? It doesn't seem he is. So I said that, but he's actually, Moggy himself has actually gone a little bit wide. So that's invited Jay through, and he's on the medium compound tyres, Jay is, and the Mercedes is on the hards. So the mediums right now are going to be a lot quicker, as we see activity in the pit lane of Ketch right now on the hards. He's into the pits. He might have a front wing damage, which would be quite unfortunate from him right there. As we see Luca, who is well, starting P2, and he's got to change a front wing, and he's now P20, so he's got a lot of work to do in this race. If he was a touch of the points, or anywhere near, you know. It's Flux here, currently sat here, trying to get my game to launch. Ah, yikes. It's your AI, is it? Oh, I've just realised. Oh, okay, that's a bit of a yikes for you, Flux. Well, hopefully you can get back in the game shortly. If you need any help, let me know, and I can try and help you out. As we see a move here from Crankshaft. Moggy, did he gain a move, lose a move? What's going on here? Position change. He's lost 2 positions already, as he does lock up a little and goes a little bit too deep, which is not ideal for the Mercedes driver there, as he looks to potentially make a move in the tricky section of Sector 3. However, Moggy is losing touch of Crankshaft. He's on the medium compound, so those tyres are going to be a little bit more quicker for these laps here. So going backwards instead of forwards on the grid, loads of drivers starting to improve on their lap times, so faster laps are going to be crazy here, as Chris goes a little bit too wide onto the approach for turn 1. Well, yeah, turn 1, sorry. And DRS is now activated, as we see activity in the pit lane once again. And it's IAV, so both Ferraris having wing damage, having to change tyres. It's not ideal. That is really unfortunate for IAV getting a even start to the Mercedes of Rusty there. But then, I don't know what happened. Just both Ferraris just hit each other and took each other out. So that was absolutely insane to watch. But anyways then, looking on board with the drivers, I can see that Jay himself is quite close to the back of Dio right now. Could he potentially look for a move on this back straight, as his DRS will be wide open? So it's open now. We're going to turn on this thing so we can see what the battery is like. And no moves happening just yet, as we see the Mercedes or Moggy getting close, but not close enough, as we see a move actually from Crankshaft. So that means he was close enough and went for a little bit of a dive. So those mediums coming into play and starting to work well for Crankshaft so far on lap 3. So he's got to use that advantage. He's going for a aggressive strategy here. Yeah, that's quite interesting to see, as the AlphaTauri of Jay, however, is on the back of Dio. So if he wants to have any chance of scoring a podium today or getting in the points, he needs to pass now, because he needs to start pushing now. But it does seem to be getting a little bit cloudy here, so could there be potential rain on the way? Who knows? But however, the gap to P3 to P2 and P1, however, as Jay makes a move on the Red Bull, or did he? No, he didn't, sorry. That was Crankshaft making a move up on the Aston Martin there of OML. Yeah, not bad there. But Jay almost making a move on the Red Bull, but the Red Bull, I think he did a switchback. Anyways, though, as I was saying, Jay was attempting to make a move. The Red Bull was defending. The Red Bull is out of DRS range, so Jay, if we ride on board with him now, could potentially make a move or here, which he's going to do. DRS wide open, ERS button now off, and that's Jay comfortably in P3, which is P4, sorry, which isn't bad for the AlphaTauri driver there. So far, his strategy is running into play, as we have the Haas car of Bart on the hard tyres fighting with Crankshaft right now. We're fighting him a little, I wouldn't say a little bit, quite hard. And the more they keep fighting, the more time they're going to lose P5, as OML is currently in P6 and he's 2.3 behind the Red Bull driver. But the Haas of Bart not wanting to give this one up, but managing to keep on the back of Crankshaft, as Crankshaft's looking a little quick as he's got those mediums on. And if Bart can do that, he can be on the hards. He could be chilling, you know. So, yeah, not bad there. As Trust gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So, yeah, we're going to start seeing a lot of penalties. Some drivers are going a little bit too wide. You don't want to go wide. You want to keep your car on the track, as you don't really want penalties. If you get a penalty, it kind of ruins your race, if you know what I mean. Anyways then, Flux is still not back in the session, so he's going to be losing positions left, right and centre, which is really unfortunate for the Alfa Romeo driver there. So, P13 now, AD Gamer, as we've had a spin, and it's Kets. So that's massive yikes for the Williams driver right there. That's not ideal for him. So, have a look at penalties. 5 seconds to Luca. That's potentially for speeding in the pit lane. So, Luca's day just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, which is, yeah, quite annoying. Tyre-wise, though, most of the grid, or it's even really, most on hards, most on mediums, which is quite interesting to see. As we are going to ride on board with the pole sitter now, as we see MUL making a move on the Red Bull here. The Red Bull goes a little bit too wide, which is actually going to invite Jay here to potentially promote himself up to P3, as we nearly went 3 wide there in Sector 3 in the tricky section of the track, and that would have been quite insane here in the USA. As Jay was looking for the move, but it is smarter to stay behind, as that's what you want to do here. As the Alpine going a little bit too deep, which isn't ideal for him there. As we have HD Storm looking to make a move down to turn 1. Will he go for a little bit of a dive, as he's on the better, fresher, I wouldn't say fresher, but on the better tyres right now for the race. No, he doesn't. He stays behind. He stays behind. So the McLaren driver, or JJR, I believe, was making a move on his teammate of Pap right now, and he's done that nicely there. As AD Gamer gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which is not ideal. Yeah, not much going on here. As I can see Bart having a little bit of a wiggle, or shimmy you could say, of the rear end of his car there. DRS wide open, and he's pushing hard on those hards. You don't want to push too hard so you don't wear out the tyres, but once again, these 3 drivers fighting so hard, that's inviting the Red Bull of Dio to get in the DRS here, so that's quite unfortunate there, as Jay having a little bit of a moment and losing a little bit of time, as we see the Red Bull there of D'Alonso losing time, still going wheel to wheel in this part of the track, down in turn 19 now, onto the approach to turn 20. Red Bull going wide there, so the Red Bull trying to fight this one, you know, and making mistakes left, right and centre, and DRS wide open, not much going on, as I say not much going on, but the Red Bull could look for a move here, and he does, you know. Could that invite Jay into a potential position change here? It might, you know. The Red Bull getting a little bit skirmish out of turn 2, I believe, and onto bridge to turn 3 now in the tricky S section, and Jay just being patient, which you want to do, because the more they keep fighting, the more that will wear out the hards a little bit too much, but the more that will wear out the mediums as well, and the more that will invite Dio into DRS range, which it has done already. So pretty much Red Bull could play it into hands here and say, D'Alonso, you hold up the drivers, Dio stay behind, and we could gain a massive overcut. As we see Jay, however, on the back of the Red Bull of Alonso, down into turn 12 now. DRS wide open, DRS now closing. The Red Bull going very, very deep there. Jay potentially looking for the switchback. He is, you know. And is he going to make it stick? No, he's not. Maybe he is. There's a little bit of contact, but that's just wheel-to-wheel banging kind of thing. And Jay's going to look for a move here down in turn 14, 13 area. Or sorry, I say turn 15, sorry. 16, 17 now. And the Red Bull's defending it really, really hard. But what's not ideal here is the Red Bull of Alonso has lost, I believe, DRS range of the driver of MULs. He hasn't, you know. And he's still P3. That was a massive, massive opportunity for Jay there. But Jay not able to make the move stick. So that was quite unfortunate there. But we're going to keep on board of those drivers. I was going to switch, but I just can't because there could be a move for a podium position here. So we've got someone in the pit lane. It's HD Storm. Maybe some contact somewhere or something not going right for him. As we have the AlphaTauri still on the back of the Red Bull and following very closely here. It's like one of those things. It's like brother versus sister, because obviously Red Bull is the main team in Formula 1. And you could say AlphaTauri is like the sister, like the sister team, you could say, like two different, like both same teams but just different drivers. As he's gonna make the move here, you know. There was a little bit of contact, but that is J pass. That's now him up into P3, however. So yeah, that's not bad from the AlphaTauri there. As Red Bull's attempting to fight back here and isn't going to be able to. So J can now run away here and hopefully get out of DRS range of the Red Bull behind, as his teammate is slowly approaching him as well. As we've had a position change on the McLaren, as Flux is still not in the lobby, and that's him down the order slowly, and it's not great. It's quite frustrating, but unfortunately it's out of his control and there's not much he can do. As the Haas car then of Bart is currently chilling in P8 and has got DRS of the driver in front of Crankshaft. It's still managing to keep well close to him, as the Red Bull is not as close to Jay as he would want to be, but Jay has really surprised me here, as he's potentially looking to make a position change into P2 here, as he's on the back almost of MUL. So we could see a really decent fight on our hands here, but yeah, not much going on. Going backwards, however, gaps, like I say, starting to form out, starting to gap out, so not much going to happen. We will see pit stops slowly, though, as the Haas of Trust fighting with the McLaren right now, but the McLaren making it through, and let's see him up to P14. I believe the McLaren went for a switchback, so that's quite a nice switchback as well. As Trust gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which is not ideal, but is also quite unfortunate, as we see MUL under pressure, or was under pressure. I think he was making a move, or trying to make a move on the Mercedes. So, yeah, not bad there. But MUL now under pressure as well from the driver behind a J, who's forcing his way through and making the move stick. Could he potentially get to P1? No, he can't, you know. But the Alpine of MUL having a massive moment, which is going to invite the Red Bull now down in the Sector 3 tricky section of turns 17 and 18 right now. If he has a moment here, which he doesn't, he's all good. Jay, however, might seem to make a move here for the lead of the race. His ERS is switched on. DRS is wide open. We're going to keep an eye on gaps here, closing slowly. But the Mercedes, I don't believe was... Oh, actually, his battery is low, so Jay has got the upper hand at the moment. He's got more battery than the Mercedes. That's not ideal, and that's not what you want to be seeing, which is, yeah, quite annoying. Anyways, then going backwards once again, the McLaren of JJR on the back of AD Gamer now, looking for a move down into turn 1 and onto the bridge turn 2 and 3 now, and making the move stick. That's him up into P11. So that's a very good move from the McLaren driver there. Also on the medium compound of tyres. Anyways, then we've had a yellow flag, and it's the Red Bull of Alonso. So obviously a loss of grip there, or just contact with a driver, or just a spin on one of the curbs, hitting it too much. But Jay is having a moment somewhere, I believe, so his tyres must be fading. as MUL riding aboard of him side by side down into turn 12 now. DRS wide open as we've had a spin from the McLaren of JJR, which is not ideal. And MUL looking to make the move. He does, you know, back up into P2. That's not bad there, but the 1 second gap is now forming for Rusty up ahead. But MUL managing to keep it cool, managing to keep it calm. And he's now back in his positional spot where he was before Jay overtook him, and closer to P1 as well, which is ideal for the driver there. As we see a move from the Haas of, or looking it was to make a move on the Haas from Bart there, as he was looking to make a move with Crankshaft, but Crankshaft is into the pits on the mediums. So I don't think that's early at all. Maybe one more lap could be decent enough, but the mediums now starting to wear off. As I've seen a yellow flag from the Mercedes on Moggy. Was it Moggy? Might have been Moggy, I don't know. There was a yellow flag showing somewhere, but I don't know who it was. But I guess it was Moggy, but I'm not too sure. As Crankshaft is going to be out of the pits, and it's going to put him P11, which isn't a bad exiting position. When are we going to see J boxing then? There could be J boxing quite shortly, as J is all over the back of this battle now for P1. MUL into the lead here, the new leader of the USA now, GP. Jay giving a little bit of a love tap, and both cars behind getting a little bit skirmish, but the Mercedes getting the worst out of it, and the Red Bull now looking to make an opportunity move down into turn 12, and Jay now ahead of both hard runners, but might be boxing this lap. I don't really know what's going on with Jay, as the Mercedes of Rusty is now side by side with the Red Bull down in the tricky section of sector 3, and there is contact, and Rusty is unfortunately round. So yeah, really unfortunate right there. Back on board with Jay though. Is he going to look to pit, or is he going to stay out longer to keep with MUL, which will drag him away from Dio? We could see that. That is a position of strategy there that could potentially play into his game there, which I think he's going to do. You know, he's going to stay out a little bit longer, stay with MUL, and see where that can get him. That will really, really help him, as he's quite quick, MUL, right now. Or Jay is quite quick as well, but it's better to get that toe, as he'll be decent on the speed and his tyres will to wear off. But if he can stay behind MUL, his pace will be fine, but his tyres will not be okay, as AD Gamer making a move on Moggy, I believe, and that's him up to P9. Dio, however, getting a 3-second tyre penalty, excuse me, for multiple warnings. So that's really not ideal. But they will help Rusty out, though, as Rusty's got no time penalties. So potentially, if this was like a couple laps before the race to finish, this would be Rusty currently in P3. So right now, he doesn't have to fight too hard. But if he wants to catch up to P1 and 2, he has to fight a little bit to catch. But anyways then, whilst we're chilling with our current leader, we're right on board with Jay to see if he makes any potential move down into turn 12, the tricky part of sector 3. We're going to have a look at fastest lap, and so far IAV is your fastest person on the track so far for 1:37 something, as we see a move almost from Rusty right there. But the Red Bull looking and defending hard, as the Haas of Bart, he gets past OML there, and that's him up to P5. Next on his bucket list is going to be the driver of Rusty now. So yeah, anyways then, Jay still out and staying out, so that gap from P3 is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger by the second, as the Mercedes of Rusty, however, is close but low on battery. Could he potentially look for a move? I don't know. We'll see what happens here. No, he's just too far back, so there's no move change going to happen at any moment of time. Excuse me. As Bart, however, is closing in on P4 and P3. Jay right now just vibing and trying to stay with MUL, which seems to be working in his favour. But we're going to look at detail now. We're going to look at tyres. Here we get tyres. 12 lap holes for the hards. Still working in perfectly working order. And Jay's tyres will slowly start fading off. So it's not ideal. He needs to be in the box soon. But if he can keep on the board at MUL, make those tyres work like Lewis Hamilton can sometimes, that would be really good for him. And he can stay out a little bit longer. As there is a swap for P3. And it is the Mercedes ahead of the Red Bull, but the Red Bull's still looking to come back, you know. He is, you know. Tremendous battle for P3 right now. Late braking for the Mercedes, locking up a little, but managing to still keep ahead. In the tricky part of Sector 3, not much really going on. And the Mercedes through, and now it's probably going to push up to get to J in P2 currently. Bart, though, right on board with this beautiful angle we have in USA, is seemingly to have more pace. So that's good from here. As Jay's in the box on the hard, Jay's on the medium. Sorry, I thought Emerald pitted, but he didn't. But he's in the box now. Where's this going to put him? I want to say it's going to put him P7. As we have Dio into the pits as well, for front wing change and on the medium set of tyres. Alright then. Jay exiting the pit lane. His teammate Chris on the hard still. And that's Jay out on the out the pits. Now he's got to be careful here because he's got to be careful because his tyres are going to be a little bit cold, so he doesn't want to push too hard or he will go spinning like Mazepin did in 2020 and 2021. Not 2020, sorry, 2021. When Mazepin went for a little bit of a spin and it was quite interesting. Anyways then, lots of activity in the pit lane, as you can see. Flux on a set of hards, still not in the game. JJR on a set of hards. And Ket's in the pits for a set of hards as well. Yeah. OML. P4 now, having a very good race. Up a few positions, I believe. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is. Up 3 positions. Most game positions is going out to Bart right now. Currently chilling in P3, so that's a very good drive from Bart right now. Like I said, having a very unfortunate race of round 1 in Brazil, but good race so far, so high hopes for him and a decent race today. Anyone going to pit up front as Bart goes way too wide, and he loses a little bit of time there, which will help the Aston Martin or OML there, as he can start to sense either overheating issues or just went wide by accident. So, yeah. There's Ed, the Red Bull of Alonso on the hards, on the charge here in the USA. Can he make up any more positions? We'll see. We'll see. As we have more activity into the pit lane, and that is IAV. Probably go for a set of mediums or hards, I can't really know. Yeah, for a set of mediums. Anyways, one driver we haven't looked at is Jay. So Jay looking to overcut, and right now it's going well for him, and he could be on for a good P1 maybe. So not bad there. As we have the Red Bull of Alonso, was it him who had a little bit of a spin, or was it the Red Bull of Dio? I'll look at tyres. No, I think it was Alonso had a little bit of a spin, and he's now in P5, so he's regaining some positions, but will he be able to keep them after the pit stop? We'll see. Any pit's going to happen. We do have reaction from Bart here in USA. Same with OML, called into the pit lane a little bit late, so managing to get in just time. But the Red Bull, hello, of Alonso here, side by side into the pits, managing to jump the Aston Martins. That could be a position up for him, as Jay will now cross the line to take P2 out of this race. And yeah, it's Alonso ahead of the Aston Martin, but the Aston Martin back ahead of the Red Bull. Don't know what's going on in the pit lane, but absolutely crazy. And yeah, the Aston Martin back ahead of that crazy dive done by the Red Bulls. The Red Bull tried to look for a move. It had to go a little bit wide and take a bit of exit curb, but it's really unsettled the Aston Martin. We could look for a move here, but maybe not, as his teammate Dio comes through in P10 currently, and looking to make a move on the Aston Martin and not really going well. So this fight that his teammates now having is now ruining Delonzo's race and getting ruined more. But on the back of Moggy now, looking to make a move down into turn 11 with the medium compound tyres. Of course, DRS will be wide open. The Aston Martin, however, going wide there of AD Gamer, allowing Crankshaft to go around the inside there. And Mercedes of Rusty, though, looking to come back, though. Looking to pounce a little bit more, and that's him up into P4 now. The Aston Martin, though, of AD Gaming fighting with Crankshaft, and Crankshaft, instead of going forwards, is now going backwards. That's really not ideal for the Alpine right there, but potentially looking for a move on the Alpine. However, there's a position or two positions gained by both Red Bulls, as Moggy has unfortunately spun and he's on the hard tyres. So that's really unfortunate right there, as we're going to see Jay make a move here and is looking to make a switch back. Got on a throttle too early there, Jay did, and that's lost him a lot of time and probably a bit of overheated tyres and potentially tyre wear on the tyres as well. But that was going to be such a good switchback, but Jay making that error there, and he's behind MRL, or MUL, sorry. So yeah, that's a bit of a yikes for the AlphaTauri driver there, but the AlphaTauri is close, as the medium tyres of MUL will be very, very cold right now, so he's got to do a warm-up lap. So Jay could potentially look for a move here. I believe if MUL isn't silly, he won't use any of the battery, which he isn't, and Jay's going to not use the battery either, so he's going to go for a move here. And now, he's now in charge of the race pace and everything else, but surprisingly, Jay's got more ERS than MUL right now, so Jay is now your new race leader, as we've got a decent DRS train behind. What is going on here? Both Red Bulls, P8, P7 right now. Aston Martin, P6, P5 for Crankshaft, but I think got through on Crankshaft. He's on the charge for not Rusty, sorry. He's on the charge for, yeah, he is on charge for Rusty. I'm getting myself confused now. Just so much action going on the track. It's just so hard to keep up here. But yeah, Bart making a move, or not making a move, sorry. That was it OML making a move or getting the move back? I don't really know. Didn't really see what happened. But OML all over the back of the driver in front of Crankshaft. He's looking for a move, you know, on the medium tyres. Crankshaft on the hards. And now that is OML up to P5. Now going to be on the charge after Bart, as Bart is on the charge after P3. The Alpine looking to come back, though, in the tricky S section, but not making the move stick, and that's him now going backwards instead of forwards, as the Red Bull of Alonso could potentially look for a move here on Crankshaft, as Crankshaft is just struggling on those hard tyres right now, which is not surprising here in USA today, as yeah, tyres could play a different game and a different two-factor here. So that's quite unfortunate, as HD Storm as well gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. The battery on for Crankshaft now, but Crankshaft looking for a move. We're going to go on board with Dio to see a better overview or POV of this. So we've got the Alpine of Crankshaft going wheel to wheel with OML, as I've had his retirement. OML coming back again at Crankshaft, down in turn 15 now. Now on the approach to turn 16 and 17. This is an amazing battle, as the Red Bull of Dio almost lost his back end. The Red Bull of Alonso, though, potentially looking for a move in turn 19. No, he's not. So on the back straight of turn 20 now, onto the approach of the back straight to up to turn 1 now. There is a yellow flag. That is indeed a retirement of HG Storm. We've got the Red Bull of Alonso looking to make a move on Crankshaft. Crankshaft, however, going backwards and not forward still. But OML now got pressure from Alonso behind. So many things going on right now. Absolutely crazy to see at the Circuit of the Americas. But one thing that's really caught my mind is Mr. J is still ahead of the Alpine on the hards. That's quite interesting to see. A damage limitation happening now to MUL. However, the Red Bull of Dio right now, all over the back of Crankshaft. Could you believe it? Crankshaft is having a terrible second stint here, as the Red Bull of Dio is going to go for a move on the Alpine right now, and looking to go side by side maybe. Hopefully not, because it could cause a lot of damage if they make too much contact. The Alpine is still side by side with the Red Bull in turns 14 now, up to turn 15, and the Red Bull has passed, which is absolutely amazing to see. But can he stay ahead? That is the big question. As the Red Bull of Alonso now in DRS range of OML, but doing nothing at the moment. Moggy under pressure from... Oh, Moggy not under pressure. Moggy making a move up on JJR now. In Sector 3, the tricky section of the track, in my opinion. Most drivers probably will agree with me. But there's still wheel to wheel, and Moggy looking to make a position change, maybe. And he does, you know. But is he going to get the exit? No, he's not. It lets the McLaren driver through. Could it be the old switcheroo? No, it's not. You know, it's not indeed. Could it be a switcheroo here? It could, you know. It is indeed. Moggy getting the better exit, and DRS as well is going to help him out as the McLaren goes way too deep and wide. And let's open the door for Moggy, and now Moggy's going to set sail and try and close the gap to P12. As we've got both Ferraris right now. If you didn't know, if you're just tuning in, Ferrari were in the podium positions, but touching lap 1 and then spinning around was absolutely insane to see. Not a good thing there. As we see the driver of Alonso right now looking to make a move on the Aston Martin down into turn 12, where DRS is going to be wide open. Still wheel to wheel, but the Red Bull getting a better enough exit. And that's him up to P5 now in Sector 3 area. Trust, again, getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So Trust going wide at a certain part of the track, which you don't need to be doing. But we have got AD Gamer now fighting with both Ferraris. And Ferrari not having a great day, as I believe both teammates are fighting as well. So that's not ideal. Not ideal indeed. As Dio, a 3-second time penalty. That's not ideal for him either. So... this is a really big yikes for him, excuse me. Excuse me, indeed. But what I just realised for a second there is Crankshaft did lose DRS of the Red Bull of Dio, but managed to get back in. And Moggy getting a 3-second tyre penalty for multiple warnings. So not a great day for him either. As we've had a spin. And it's Moggy again. And that is on the approach to the start and finish line. So that's really unfortunate for the Mercedes driver there. Both Williams. Down in P18, 19. This is like the real F1 cover. That was a joke. I repeat. That was a joke. I am... not being serious. That just reminds me of IRL F1, which let me know in the chat. Are you guys missing F1? Because I'll tell you what, I am absolutely missing it, and I wish I could make a return sooner than possible. Anyways, then Jay is still ahead on lap 21 with 7 laps remaining, if I am correct. Jay is still ahead on the hard tires. So is MRL charging up the battery? No, he's not. He's on 45%. But Jay's got more battery than him, so that's really interesting there. AV is still fighting with the Aston Martin, however. And managing to keep ahead, but not ahead for long on the DRS straight if there's going to be any moves made. But there's a little bit of a DRS train beginning to form once again. And the victim leading it is going to be OML. No, sorry, not OML. The Red Bull, I believe? Or is it Bart? No, Alonso right now is leading this train and is trying to catch up to the fast-pacing Haas car there. Amazing race from Bart here in the USA today. I think so far he'll be really, really impressed with his result here. As, hang on a minute. The Alpine driver hasn't got DRS here. What's going on? So we've got JD using a little bit more of the battery. MUL using some of the battery, but there's now a 1.4 gap, or 1.3 now, from J and MUL. So J going for the overcut, overcutting a few drivers, and managing to get past the Alpine, even though he had that moment down into turn 1, and nearly losing the car, managing to save it. But yeah, so far Jay is doing phenomenal work, and that could potentially mean he is going to have a good one. And now this could throw anything into the works. A safety car on lap 22. As we had a retirement from, well, not retirement, a crash on Luca, which I think brought out a safety car. So hold on to your seats, folks. 22 out of 28 laps here in the USA GP. And now drivers boxing from the softs. That is very unfortunate for MUL and J here. So that's not ideal for the P1 and P2 right now, but P3 as well staying out. P4 for soft tyres, Alonso for softs. Half the grid's going to be on the softs. Well, Chris is on the mediums. Crankshaft is on the softs. Yeah, all people are boxing for softs here in the USA. So a late safety car, folks. And this is what has happened. So we could get a mad restart here. So hold on to your hats here. Because once it's lights out and away we go, after the safety car's in, that is it. That is it. As I've had a retirement from Trust there, which is not ideal there. But yeah, Trust not having a great race today, so hopefully he comes better and stronger in the next one, which is actually going to be next week, I believe, with a sprint race. So we'll talk about that in more depth after the race, once it's all over and done with. Yeah, sit tight. It's going to be a good one. Any questions you would love to ask me in the chat, feel free to say them. Yeah, but for now, I'm going to sit and wait and hope this safety car can be in a lot sooner than expected. Yeah, I see, Trust. I see. Do you want to explain what happened? Because I know it just wasn't your race today. I heard you had a... Not heard, I saw you had a few moments. So, if you're comfortable telling us what happened, then feel free to explain in the chat and I'll have a chat with you about it, you know. But that is really, really unfortunate to see you retire from the session here. Not ideal. But we're just waiting now to get under the way when the safety car comes in. Not this lap, probably next lap after. In fact, I received my new pedal board today. I could not get into my race with pedals. Ah, okay. Well, that's really unfortunate, Trust. That's not ideal. Well, sorry to hear that. But, I hope all goes well for you. Yeah. Not ideal. Not ideal. Well, sorry they had a rubbish race today, Trust. Hope it's better for you next week. Hope it is indeed. But yeah, so far, the championship standings, I believe, who was our race winner last time? I'm trying to think now. Can't remember, so we'll have a look later on. Oh, actually, no, I'll have a look now on my phone whilst we wait for the safety car to approach in. I hope to be able to run another time since I want to ride at the WOR. I mean, yeah, WOR is an absolutely awesome place. Awesome place for league racing. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if you wanted to, you know, join as racing, you know. Yeah. Right, so, as I was trying to say, as I got a little bit distracted by Discord, however, talking to a few people, sorting a few things out, we'll have a look at the championship standings for, Tier 7 of WOR, but I don't know where the, sort of standings. I found them. And the safety car is in this lap, so if we're quick enough, which I don't think we're going to be quick enough. Yeah, we're not going to be quick enough, unfortunately, but we'll tune back into that back a little bit later, probably after the race, we'll have a chat about that, because I like to have a little bit of a chat with you guys and get your opinions on everything. And AlphaTauri now of J is going to be slowing the pack down on lap 25, so not many laps remaining until the end of the race. MRF1, hello, welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing well. As Jay is still slowing the pack down and is going. And this would be an excellent restart for Rusty, which I think it's going to be. But the softs now, as off the grid, are on the soft tyres. Down to turn 1, Rusty looking to make the move on MUL. A little bit of contact, a bit of wheel banging going on. But MUL managing to stay ahead here so far. Going backwards as Rusty receives a 3-second time penalty. That's his race potentially done and dusted here in the USA as soft tyres left, right and centre for some drivers. Oh, you started watching today, did you, MR? Nice to hear. As position loss from the Ferrari from IAV, now gaining a position up to P8 on OML. But hello, what's this? Jay going backwards here, which is not ideal for him. And now he's down to P3. But he's going to look to make the move up the inside for P2. And now in the tree section is Sector 3. Still wheel to wheel with MUL. Managing to make the move. Stick. It's Mr. F1. Oh, okay. I was just making sure, you know. I didn't want to say a name wrong, but yeah. All good. But yeah, that was an incredible move from Jay right there, I must say. Incredible. But if you didn't know, if you did not know, looking at tyres, as the safety car came in, on the penultimate lap, if I can say the word, here in the USA, half the grid on the soft tyres, which is going to be an interesting one, but those softs aren't really working just yet. So, it's like a little mini sprint race at the moment. Mercy. Yeah, Merc P1, yes. Indeed, Merc is P1. At the moment, though. But Rusty is low on battery and Jay's not. So Jay's still got a little bit of battery, or a lot more battery, as he gets a superb exit. And Jay not looking to make the move yet. He's probably going to make the move on the last lap on this potential back straight. As we see Moggy losing a lot of, not a lot, but just a few positions. As there's a position change from Crankshaft and IAV now. And if they can get close enough to P5 and 4, they'll be P5 and P4. But Red Bull's fighting hard with MUL now as Jay's going a little bit too deep, which has invited MUL into attack as we had a Red Bull spin. That's really unfortunate. That is Delonzo spun and he's round in turn 18, which is really unfortunate for him. But as we go on for the final lap of the race here in the USA Grand Prix today, known as the Circuit of the Americas, Jay is not far behind. However, MUL's not far behind. But Dio, hang on a minute, is on the soft compound. And he's looking to make a move on MUL. So I've just realised Jay's got a time penalty. So Jay's not going to be in chance for a podium. Same with Rusty. So that's quite unfortunate for the AlphaTauri there. So if MUL can keep it all together here, he could be on a position to win the race of the Grand Prix and take home the win and get a decent amount of points, as IAV is getting ever so close to the back of his pack, and he could also be in a chance if he's close enough for P2 here in USA. Jay goes for the move and managing to make it stick. A massive lockup from the Mercedes driver right there. Not ideal. However, MUL right behind. Same with Dio now, who's got a 3-second time penalty. Flux has gone round. Well, I believe he's not in the game since it's AI driving. And we've got Jay currently sitting in P1. He's going to be up to the line shortly, winning the race on track, but unfortunately going backwards, and that should mean your race winner is going to be currently in P3. MUL up to the line, and it's P1 for him, P2 for IAV. So right there for the Ferrari, having a horrible turn 1 on lap 1 with his teammate, them coming together, and that has both I would say one of them's had a rubbish race and the other one's had a decent race, but that was a great race to watch, I must say. Absolutely awesome. Obviously a lot of time penalties, so a lot of position changes left, right and centre. But that was a race and a half, especially with that safety car on lap 22. As we see JJR in the bottom left, P7. So, good results for some people today. Not great results for other drivers, however. So, that is the race done and dusted, folks. That was awesome to watch today. Lots and lots and lots of great hard racing. Amazing battles for the top 3 today. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Like, I wasn't expecting lap 1 contact with both Ferraris spinning around and at the bottom. Yeah, good recovery for some people. Awesome recoveries, as yeah, we're now going to see the quick race director that everyone loves to see here in USA. And as you can see, MUL not having a time penalty. He was in P3 or 4, I believe he was. So he's potentially won the race with penalties. And all I will say is that is your race done and dusted. Unfortunately, a few penalties left, right, and centre, but that's J with a podium. IAV, however, in P2, having lap contact with his teammate on lap 1, spinning them both round. Wow. Insane race we had today, and that is your grid. And the race done and dusted. So, without further ado, we're gonna move to my wonderful and lovely. So, hello, here I am again. You got me, Mr. Flynn, again. While I don't know, see if we want any interviews. If you wanna, I don't know, have a look at my Twitter, which is down below, as you can see. Down below, if you want to check out my Twitter, if you want to. You don't have to. But if you'd like to, then feel free to. And I'm going to try and get some interviews sorted. So any questions in the chat, feel free to let me know. And I'm going to have a look at interviews. Do. Let's have a look and see if anyone would love a interview. We've got Jay, who's wanting an interview. So he's in the waiting for interviews. So what we're going to do is we're going to move over to the interview cozy room now. So I'll see you guys there in just a second's time. Oh, look at this. All nice and comfy. So as Jay is going to be with us in a moment, I'm just going to check to make sure everything is A-OK, which I believe it is. So without further ado, let's invite Jay down quickly. Hello, Jay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Amazing. Well, hopefully you can get yourself nice and comfy in the commentary room. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
That's good to hear. Well, the race today, spectacular. I mean, it was insane. What was it? Seeing you battle with the top 3 today. Insane battles. Give us your thoughts before we get into your win here with P3. What do you think of lap 1 contact with both Ferraris? What was your point of view there? Because I know it was crazy.
I don't think I actually I don't think I hit them. I think they were in front of me, but it was a great first lap from me. I gained, I think, about like 4 or 5 positions.
Absolutely insane.
So that was a good start.
But talk to us about your win though. Like, I don't think you were expected to come over a podium today, were you? But you just had
no,
looking at
definitely not. After qualifying, P11.
Yeah, like I don't know what it was. We had such insane pace. I don't know where it came from, but you just had really decent pace today. Going for the aggressive strat though, starting on the mediums though, and then on the hards. But let us know how'd it go for you today?
So qualifying, obviously, got the wrong setup, got mixed up with it. So I changed the tire pressures and that worked, but I didn't get a final lap in because I invalidated. So started P11. Got a good start. I decided to go on mediums just to get past everyone and try and hopefully catch up, which happened. And then after that, just stay in the tow of the drivers. I think it was the Alpine for a few laps, then pit. And then,
Yeah, I mean, it was an awesome, awesome race to see. Like I said, what was your opinions and thoughts on the battles you had today? Because I know, like, how do I put it? Like, just looking at it, it looked like you were like some points you had like a lot of oversteer and then understeer in a few corners. But let me know, how do you think with the battling today? Because I know looking at it, you looks like you're having fun out on the track.
Yeah, the battles were good. With the Red Bulls and the Alpine and the Merc. There was a few sketchy times with obviously the oversteer. And also there was like a bit where one broke early. I went into the back of them and then the Red Bull went into the back of me, so that was a bit sketchy just before like the Merc spun at that point. But yeah, good battles right to the end as well, so yeah.
Yeah, well congrats again on P3. Is there anything else you would like to add?
No, I'm just a bit annoyed that I got the warning to lose myself the win.
I was actually cheering you on. I was like, yes, come on, Jay, let's go. P1 right now, on the approach to winning a race, and unfortunately getting that time penalty. But awesome race from today. Congrats on P3. If there's nothing else you would like to add, then feel free to leave, and I'll see you next week for Baku for a sprint race. No worries. Have a good evening. Bye bye.
You too.
Hello, Luca. Welcome down to the nice, cozy commentary box. Hopefully it's nice and comfy for you. Let me know, how did your race go
Obviously.
today? How'd it go?
Wasn't pretty good.
I know
So
lap
if we
1 was
started,
quite interesting.
yeah, yeah, if we would start qualifying, my banker lap, which I invalidated, would have been pole by a tenth.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean pace was looking good today, and then in lap 1 I had an unfortunate incident with my teammates.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That was
Yeah, he had
not
a snap
ideal.
of oversteer.
Ah,
He had a
okay.
snap of oversteer, so yeah, nothing too bad. No hard feelings that can happen in racing, so it was unfortunate because we both had pretty good pace. Uh, I think we were even the fastest drivers on track.
Yeah, I believe you
But
were
yeah,
like,
that's just a
I
shame.
think it was IAV the 137. So yeah, I believe you two were the
Yeah,
fastest cars on the track, which isn't bad as well. That's actually quite decent as well.
yeah, it's not bad. It's looking good for the future, but it's just unfortunate for this race.
But yeah,
And then yeah, I had a spin at the end because I was like on mediums for like the whole race then, and then I got a puncture and put it into the wall, and that brought out a safety car.
yeah, I saw
And
that, and that
then
was that did surprise me. Lap 22, I was like, okay, it's all going. I was like, oh my days, it's a
yeah,
safety car.
my tires were cooking, mate. I can't lie.
Oh wow, okay.
They were not looking good, yeah. And
Well,
then yeah, it was
yeah,
some interesting last laps. Yeah,
yeah, very
can't
interesting
lie.
indeed. Well, like I said, lap 1 having a collision with your teammate. A lot to take back from this race. Also, you move on to round 3, which is going to be Baku with an exciting sprint race, which I'm looking quite excited to. I'm guessing, is there anything else you'd like to add at all? Was that everything?
There's nothing really to add from my side.
All I will
Really,
say
yeah.
before you go is, what are your thoughts and highlights for the next round of Baku? Is it a decent
Um,
track for you? Is it like kind of like a street circuit, if you know what I mean? Like, what would you
yeah,
say?
I don't know if I've got time yet to race there next week
Oh, okay.
because I might be busy. So yeah, I don't know if I will race yet. But if I race, no, it's not one of my best tracks. It's actually like I think my worst track at all. Like out of all tracks, I'm not
I
really
couldn't
good
agree
there.
more, to be honest, because I'm absolutely rubbish at that
Yeah, I
track
don't.
too. So,
Yes, yeah, like I'm not really good, and I also don't really like the track. I mean, in the game, in real life, it's quite nice to watch.
yeah.
But still, in the game, it's not my favorite track to drive. So yeah, I'll see if I race next week. But yeah,
But
we'll see.
yeah, no worries. Thank you very much for coming down for our interview today. Once again, really, really sorry to hear about the contact you have with your teammate on lap 1. But if you do race next week, hopefully a better result on Baku. But thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I thank you for coming down. And I hope we see you next week. So yeah, have a good one.
Yes, and also thanks for commentating. See
No
ya.
worries. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Right then, folks. That was interviews done and dusted. Obviously, if you weren't tuned in for the beginning of the race, there was actually contact with the Ferrari, I believe, or both Ferraris. There was contact on lap 1 on turn 1. If you want to watch the highlights, feel free to go in the stream and look back at the start of the race, because that was absolutely carnage when they went round. And yeah, but before we run away, we're going to actually have a look at the calendar. So as you know, for the calendar, round 1 of Brazil is done and dusted. Round 2 of the USA is done and dusted. Next, we move on to Baku. January the 30th. Move on to Baku, known as Ajaban. And sprint race involved. So that's going to be exciting to watch and see how that one goes. But that is it. That is everything done and dusted for the race here at the USA. Before I run away, I'm just going to say a few things, which would be, if you want to keep up to date with all the stuff we provide here at WOR, then feel free to head on over to our Twitter, which is up above me right now. Make sure to leave a like and a subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with all the content we provide here. And make sure to head down to our Discord, which is down below. Right down there. Hello? There, it's down there. If you can't see it, then you must be tripping, but it is down there because I can see it right there. Discord, Twitter, all the socials down below. I'll catch you guys next week on Monday for round 3 of Baku. Quite a tricky street circuit. Might see a few crashes into the castle section, but I'll catch you guys next week. But for now, it's me, Flynn, signing off, and I'll catch you guys next week. Bye bye.